guys! Oh, that was not the voice that I had planned for. Kia guys, welcome to this week's Wholesome Half Hour. It is the last week of school for term 2. We've made it, another term in life.
Yay!
Successful.
Well, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Well, you haven't finished the week yet if you're watching this on a Monday.
That's very true. But it's the last week. So, yay, because, after this you get a few more holidays and it's getting closer to the end of the year, and I feel like once term 2 is over, I feel like term 3 and 4 always go so quickly.
Yeah, no, I
For a couple
totally
reasons.
agree.
The first and second term are always the longest ones of the year, right? Like they're always the 11, 12-week terms.
Yeah.
So you know that after this, like most of your terms, like I don't know how long term 3 is this year, but it'll probably be 10 weeks. And then term 4 doesn't really exist if you're like over year 11.
Year 11 or above, yeah.
Year 11 or above, like doesn't really exist for you, so I have to burp again.
It's awesome. Oh, great. You can get your mic.
Right into the camera.
No, don't do that.
Microphone. It's not a camera. Imagine if that was.
That'd be a very interesting angle.
Yeah. Not a great view. Just directly across this button.
Anyway. So
Sorry.
today we thought school holidays are next week, so we thought we'd give you some unconventional things you can do this school holidays. We've talked about stuff you can do the school holidays before, but this time we're going to go even further out of the box than usual. And
I feel like a lot of the things
you might not think about.
What we talked about before the episode isn't like things that you don't want to do or anything like that. It's just quite frequently things that you just don't think to do. I think,
Yeah, no, I totally agree. You can actually do some of these any time of year, but you have the time available.
Holidays makes it easier.
And you have like a goal, like there's a defined time period, like I want to either do this one thing or do this continuous thing for at least 2 weeks.
Yep.
Cool. Shall we make a start?
Yes, we shall.
Shall I go first?
Yes, you shall.
Cool. So my first thing, I actually just came off 3-day trip, 3-day trip in the Wairarapa, which if you're from Wellington, it's just like, it's like an hour away.
Yep.
But yeah, it was real fun. I just went with a friend and it was just a real good, it was just really nice to leave Wellington, because you don't realize it, even if you're not at school, when I'm not at uni, if I'm here, you inevitably end up doing a lot of the same things.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
I end up doing a certain amount of work. I end up spending you end up doing the same things, and it's nice to change of environment,
change of scenery.
It's nice to have a change of scenery, and it's quite. I don't know. I found it really mentally freeing not to think about work for a few days or whatever. Can you calm down, mate? Yeah.
I think actually that reminds me of. I think it was in year 13 I did it. And my friends and I, we obviously we had cars at that point, which obviously made it a lot easier.
Yeah,
unless you train somewhere. Yeah. If you're in a place where that kind of public transport is reliable and can take you far enough away that you sort of do feel like you're away. But yeah, one thing that I did in high school was, I think it was a day trip. We'd originally had grand ideas of being at an overnight, but it ended up being a day trip of... we just went to Palmy, of all places, no offense, Palmy, for the day.
How long does it take to get from Napier to Palmy or Hastings?
Hastings to Palmy is just under 2 hours. Hawke's Bay to Wellington is about 3.5 hours. And it usually takes about an hour and a half from here to get to Palmy, somewhere around there. Yeah. Just 2 hours, maximum, I would assume.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe actually a bit longer now that the gorge is closed. That's very niche information. Doesn't matter. But it was good. It's not like it offered a lot of things that we didn't have in Hawke's Bay. I mean, that is already a very limited group of things. But it's nice to go away and just do something that's different. Yeah. And even if it's doing the same thing in a different place, it's somehow much more interesting. No,
totally, it totally is. Because we go back to the Wairarapa, for example. It's actually not that far away. Martinborough is less than an hour. I think it's 55 minutes from Lower Hutt, which is where.
Oh, that's not too bad. Yeah. And Lower Hutt's a 10-minute drive from here.
Lower Hutt's 15 minutes from here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking Petone.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really. Yeah, it's even though I did the same things I do in Wellington. I went to cafes and
went out for walks and
went for a walk, stuff I do here. But the change of scenery, and I guess stripping yourself away from the usual locations kind of mentally frees you up a bit.
And also I don't know if this is too whimsical, but I really enjoy being in a place where nobody knows me.
Yeah, I see what you mean. See, the thing is though, in New Zealand, especially as a uni student, right, because you have like because you went to high school, like you went to a high school, like
Yeah.
that's only a thing for me in like smaller regions. Like I could, if I went to Auckland and Christchurch, like I'd still like it wouldn't be different from Wellington in that regard.
There are people that I could potentially run into, but like in Wellington, after living here for a couple years, like I know a lot of people. Like I'll walk down the street and I can bump into like 3 people I know along the way.
No, I say this specifically because whenever I go to Auckland, I stay with one of my mates and they live right next to the uni. So we inevitably end up going past the uni a lot. And inevitably you know someone at Auckland Uni.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I know people at Auckland Uni and I have friends that do live in Auckland and stuff like that, but yeah. No, I fully get what you mean. I think that's cool as well. It's kind of nice to go somewhere and know that the people you interact with will never see you again, or very unlikely to ever remember you again.
Yeah.
And just, I don't know.
It's just freeing, I guess.
Yeah, I think for someone like myself, I stress in really silly situations about silly things. Like I'm the person that practices their order before I've gone.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't know why, and something about knowing for a fact that this person will never remember you ever, or you'll never have to probably see this person again. Like it just takes a load off sometimes. I don't know why.
I actually do kind of agree with this because when I was in Martinborough, we did some like wine tastings. Obviously, you have to be 18 to do a wine tasting, but yeah, we did some wine tastings. And anyway, like it's kind of weird, but I don't know. I sort of knew I'd never have to interact with these people.
And so I don't know why that makes a difference, but it does.
Even
I don't know. People don't realise any change in your behaviour.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sort of like, I definitely overanalyze my behaviour.
Oh, 100%.
And there's like certain stores that I avoid revisiting. Or like I'll wait for a period of like.
Can I have an example?
Sure. So at a particular coffee place that I go to,
one of many,
they stopped doing filter, which is what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
But they like had filter samples available.
Right.
And the woman just kept like being like, "Oh, just like fill up your cup from like the sample thing," but like she wouldn't like charge you for it. It started getting awkward, so then I stopped going for a while. And now I only go to buy other coffee products from there. I'll tell you this example later. I don't want to name the place.
No, I get the awkwardness of that, right? Yeah. No, like I get that. Yeah, 100%. I really, really actively avoid going to the Macca's on Manor Street because I did the classic enjoy your meal, you too thing. And I know that's so small and silly, and like the worker doesn't remember me. They don't know who I am.
This girl remembers me. That's the issue.
Right, that's different.
So now
honestly, a Macca's worker, like somebody trying to be polite back and like messing it up is the least of their concerns, right? They're just like, oh, this person's like kind of an idiot, but a harmless idiot.
Yeah. No. So it's free to leave Wellington.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Anywhere
wherever you live.
And
it doesn't have to be that far.
It doesn't have to be a big city either.
Yeah.
Just go somewhere that has like a cute Airbnb with your mates or something like that, and just I don't know, like it has a spa or something like that. Just have like a few days hanging out with your mates, like in like a place that you've all rented together. Like it's sick. It's so much fun. There are so many shenanigans. Shenanigans.
I highly recommend. So if you drive, obviously, or if someone you know drives, has their full, that's ideal. Or you can actually like if you're in Wellington, you can get to the Wairarapa via train. I presume you can get places by bus. I don't really get buses there.
It depends.
I don't know how it works.
I definitely would not weigh up a trip being worth it if I had to take an intercity from Hastings to Palmy versus driving.
I'm thinking like long commuter bus services.
Yeah.
In Wellington, you can get a train to Waikanae.
Yeah, no, that's what I was kind of thinking.
Which are distinctly not Wellington.
Yeah,
but it's a commuter.
But you can still
service.
take public transport there. Yeah, 100%. That is definitely more of a big city thing.
I'm not familiar with how public transport works in Auckland.
I would say almost any other city apart from Auckland and Wellington, that's not really an option. But I don't 100% know.
Very cool.
But the thing is, when you're in wider cities anyway, you are more likely to have a car because you can't rely on public transport. Like the amount of I've had a lot of, like, in all my students and stuff like that, I've never known one of them to drive ever. Yeah. Even though there are students in Wellington that drive. Whereas when I was in high school, it was weird for someone like not to have some mode of transport, whether it be a moped, motorcycle, or car.
Yeah.
100%. Cool. So next one. This was sort of my main contribution or sort of idea to this was something like volunteering.
Yeah.
I think that's so underrated, and the good thing about volunteering is that you can do like some one-offs and it's fine. You don't have to commit to like a long period of time or anything like that. Volunteering is so cool, and I think it's something that everyone should do at some point of time. Have you done like volunteering at all?
Yeah, I actually hadn't thought about it in ages, but just as you told me about that, it came back to me. I remember a couple of times, this is a really specific thing, you don't have to do this, but like I remember a couple of times at Wellington Hospital, they have like a piano in the foyer, and like you have to, like you can volunteer to play it, but like you can't just go up, like you have to like set it up and stuff. And I remember doing that, and people
Can you play piano?
I could play. I can kind of play. I could play a lot better.
You should come to my place and play the piano we have there. We've got a piano and 2 guitars at my flat now. It's sick.
I can also play flute.
Sick. That's actual sick.
The most, if we want to get into some gender stereotyping, most masculine instrument you can play, flute. That goes down real well at the boys' school.
That and trumpet.
Yeah. But yeah, that's one thing I did. But the classic like volunteering for, I can't remember. It's been a while since I did, but I've definitely done the old like bucket collecting and that sort of thing. Yeah. Amnesty, I think I did that. Before the pre-iPad era.
You don't want to be one of them.
I don't want to be associated with that.
I know that for this is more of like a longer term thing that I did, but in my first year in the halls at uni, I volunteered at the SPCA.
Yeah.
So I would take a bus out there. I would usually do a shift maybe at least once a fortnight, but most weekends usually. And it was really cool. It was really fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I learned a lot along the way as well. And it's a really cool chance to give back in some way, shape or form with a charity or organisation that aligns with your beliefs and you want to, provide some support for. It's just a really cool thing to do, and I think it's something that's like really overlooked as well. Is just see what you can get amongst, see how you can help out and give back.
Yeah, if you're looking on how to do it specifically, if you go to most charities' websites, they'll have a page somewhere, pretty easy to find usually, about what you can do, who you need to contact, etc. Along that line of volunteering, I also just like spontaneously thought of earlier, like giving blood. You have to be 16, I believe, and there's some like other requirements, but you can like find them on their website real easily.
I've learned that I can't give blood.
Yeah, you can't have had a tattoo in the last 12 months.
And I've gotten tattoos every year since year 13, so.
Yes. But yeah, if you meet those requirements, you can go along and give blood. They have centres like all around the place. Just go to like nzblood.org.nz and just Google it. And if you want, you can go with like a mate. And
get the whole whānau out.
Yeah, very, very positive, healthy community thing to do. It's not quite the words that I was looking for, but it was close.
I get what you mean though. I think it's cool, and I think it's doing something that you can feel good about yourself for. And you don't do it to feel good about yourself, but you can say, hey, like I've done something and it's really cool. Like I definitely feel like, I don't go around being like, hi, I've volunteered before, because it's like a weird thing to do. But I definitely do feel that like I should do something more like soon again. Like I think the last time I really did like any sort of consistent volunteering was in my first year of uni, which was like 2-3 years ago now.
Yeah, actually now because we're having this conversation, there was a period of time where I did some like paid work for a charity, but because I was doing that, I learned so much more about like their business and what they do. And now thinking about this, I think I should like volunteer for that. And,
we're all making positive decisions.
But you volunteer. That's number 2.
Yeah, I think it's just easily forgotten, but like always accessible. Another like just with that as well, a really cool one. This sort of is a little bit more of a long-term one, but if you're struggling to think of places, a really common one that is almost always looking for people is like op shops.
Yeah.
They basically survive off volunteers and stuff like that. And I mean, yeah, like I said, it is usually a little bit more of a long-term thing, but you can only ask, you know?
Yeah. No, awesome. Number 3 was learn a new skill and or make something, and I'll explain how they connect. So you'd be really surprised with what you can learn in 2 weeks, right?
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you, like, you don't have to spend all day, but if you spend like half an hour to an hour a day, or even 2 hours a day, every day, you can make some real rapid progress in 2 weeks.
Oh, 100%.
So like the classic things that come to mind is, so let's talk teaching yourself a new skill. Classic things that comes to mind is like learn an instrument. Classic ones that come to mind, I guess, are like guitar, flute, not flute.
Man, can only think about flute.
Not flute. Guitar and piano. That's what I meant to say, or keyboard.
Yeah. Another, like, just on the idea of skills and stuff like that. Again, this is like a pretty
learning to play
big...
flute in 2 weeks. Just putting it out there.
Another big one that I think is, again, is a little bit more longer term, but having that 2 week break is a really cool chance, like you said, to make that really quick first initial progress that somebody makes when they first start to pick up a skill, right? Because the curve for when anyone learns anything is like a lot of rapid progress right at the beginning, and then it slows down as you sort of go more towards being like an expert or mastery of something. It like levels out, or the rate of improvement slows down quite considerably.
Yeah, the rate of improvement at the beginning when you're learning a skill,
huge.
Very rapid.
So you have like quite a big payoff at first, right? Another one that I was thinking of is studying something new, like on the side, like a language.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's a really cool one. And
love Duolingo.
Yeah,
I've completely dropped off. I'm going. Oh, actually, when you watch this, I'll currently be in South America.
Yeah.
English is not very widely spoken. So I've been trying to learn Spanish, but I haven't used Duolingo in like 2 weeks.
How much would you say you've learned, and in what period of time?
Right. Actually, when I was doing it regularly, I've learned like, I don't know, just the common phrases, like your common objects.
Oh yeah.
Like your like your man. Your
have you learned coffee?
Your Allah.
See, I feel like that's going to be important for you.
That is going to be important for you. That will be very important.
It's an area of improvement for you. But yeah,
coffee is like, I don't think coffee. Oh, actually, I did learn with and without milk, but I can't remember it now. Anyway.
But yeah, like that kind of stuff where, you know, you won't become an expert in 2 weeks, but having those 2 weeks where you can, you know, spend, you know, even just half an hour a day, like you can make some really rapid progress and some really amazing progress.
No,
and
you can.
It's a good chance to make a lot of progress and feel that you are seeing some progress, so that you feel more motivated to continue with it when you are back at school.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah. Another skill that I was thinking of is, this is something that I always did in my holidays and stuff, was like sewing and repurposing clothing and stuff like that. Obviously you need to have a sewing machine, so hit up your nanny or grandma. Whenever I say nanny, I have a lot of people think that I'm referring to like a woman, a teenage girl who looks after them after school.
That is generally what I would have associated with that term.
Yeah, my nanny is...
We get it. You're cold. You're edgy.
Smiley. Sorry. No, I'm not going to apologise for that. It sounded awful. Oh my God. But is, like repurposing clothing, or a really cool one. And the reason that I think this is a really cool one for high school students in particular is you can do it on the cheap. You can do it so on the cheap. Like, go to op shops with your mates, find some like questionable clothing that you see some potential in. And it's also so low risk, because if you're not that great at sewing, you don't want to buy a whole lot of expensive material only to cock it up.
Yeah.
Been there, done that. So unless you are very committed to that piece and really want it to look really good. But other than that, you can grab these pieces, rework them. If it doesn't work out, that's fine. You've probably learned something along the way, but it's likely only a couple dollars on that whole piece of clothing that you've spent.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. I mean, obviously, again, you have the initial cost of like something like a sewing machine, but it's a cool way to repurpose old things, make you excited about some of your existing clothing again, getting away a bit from some fast fashion. I'm not going to get into that too much. And also supporting things like op shops and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I reckon that's cool. And yeah, related to the like learning a skill thing is like making a thing. So whether that be
so
like...
it's satisfying, so you can be like,
you have,
look at what
like,
I did.
Yeah, like a shirt, I don't know, like, yeah, a shirt, a desk, a piece of music if you want to learn like music production.
Yeah. Even if it's just the chords to a song.
Yeah, make a thing. Because then you can learn a skill and you have a goal to work towards as well. And you
not
have
just
a product
that.
That you can show.
Yeah, you've got to flex at the end.
Yeah.
Like there is nothing better in this world than someone being like, wow, I really like that. And it's like, thank you, I knitted it myself. Oh yeah, no, my project last winter was scarf.
Yeah.
I made a ginormous scarf. It was a big boy. And he's so warm. And it's really cool. It's really fun to be able to make something and say that you made it. Especially when people compliment it and then you say, I made it. And people are like, oh, wow, you're so talented. And you're like, nah, but yeah.
Wow, very easy.
Very much kidding, by the way. I don't produce anything worth a flex, but there's fun, and that's also very important.
Yeah.
Another skill might be like art, painting, sketching, something like that. Again, these
very
things
wide
don't have
range,
to,
very wide range.
And they don't have to be mad expensive as well, I think is another thing. A lot of people that want to try things but don't is they see it as like costly or something like that.
You can do
that
most
hinders
things
them.
like for like no or very little money.
Yeah.
You
just gotta maybe be a
especially if it's like a digital skill, you can usually.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
See, the thing is, you're wearing my glasses, but they can't see you.
Oh, they can now. Hi. Hi, everybody. Siren.
These are Siren's glasses.
I don't even wear glasses most of the time.
Oh, terrible. I look ratchet.
Literally the only reason I have glasses today is because I had an eye test this morning, so I didn't want to wear contacts.
But now you're wearing contacts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very fun. What other ideas did you have?
Can't wear glasses to work and not get bullied by the boss.
Workplace
Tough
bullying.
workplace.
Those are the best of us.
I think I had some more things, and now I'm trying to. My mind has wandered. Did I tell you any of the other ones?
I think there was one more.
There was one more. There's one more. What's the one more? Make a thing.
This is why we should write things down.
This is why we should write things down. That's
Well,
very true.
this is what happens when you spin ideas while you're walking to get food, right?
Yeah. This is definitely what happens. So we ran through making a thing.
Yep.
What was the first one?
Going away.
Going away.
Volunteering. Making something. I got. Oh my goodness.
Great time.
That was the spirit of all students preparing for what I was about to say because they're not going to like it. So the last one that we thought would be worth mentioning is actually using the holidays to either get ahead or fix up or fill in some gaps on things from school.
Doing a little bit of
studying. Yeah.
That's
why I went to say it, and the universe was like, no.
But yeah, the most obvious things to do are like just recap the term. Like you don't have to go through every lesson, but like look at all the content. Like look at say the internal or the external you went through this term, and like find a checklist. I'm not going to look at you, and go through it and see, like, am I confident with all these things? And if there are places that you aren't so confident with, like maybe spending a little bit of time doing that. And it doesn't have to be heaps. It could be like I wouldn't do more than half an hour a day, and even then I might do half an hour to an hour a day for half the holidays, say 6 7 days.
Okay, here we go. Learn from my mistakes. So for a few of my externals at level 3, I think one of them was chem. There was a chem one that definitely gave me a lot of heartache.
Chem level 3 did not go well for me.
But the reason why I didn't feel confident in that subject actually wasn't because I didn't understand the majority of the standard. I understood like 90% of the standard, but there were like 1 or 2 gaps that it was like a blank space. Like I just didn't know, like I knew that there was something that I was missing, but I
Yeah.
didn't know what it was, and I didn't know how big it was. I didn't know how important it was. And I was just like, I'm just not good at this standard. And that's not the case. Like, I know that I knew most of it, and it was literally like a couple things that took a 5-minute explanation that improved my confidence in that subject exponentially.
Yeah. No, I
and
totally
it was
agree.
so small, and I put it off because the only reason I actually learned later on that it was a really minute thing was when I got to term 4 and I was forcing myself to study, and I was like, I spent probably close to 15 weeks stressed about a 10-minute job.
Yeah, no. So like, I have this course at uni that, I haven't been keeping up with it, and I like saw like what we needed to cover in the test, and I was like, whoa. But then I literally spent, this is for an entire university paper, I literally spent like 1 or 2 hours, and like I found out all the things that I needed to cover. And as soon as I got those things, like the rest kind of fell into place.
Yeah, and it's not even a case of needing to know that thing fully in depth, but understanding how it
What
relates
it
to
is
other things.
and how it relates.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, you're much more willing to find an in-depth understanding when you can sort of contextualize it a bit more, right?
Yeah.
So
So
it's
contribution margin is this morning.
So it's also
real fun.
helps to encourage you to actually, seek out the things in your studies that make you uncomfortable and tackling them, because they are never as big as you think they are, ever. I actually felt so silly. Later on, I was like, I can't believe this has been on my mind, like hanging over my head every chem lesson that I've been in since the middle of term 2.
Yeah. No.
And even now, I'm like, you're so silly. Like, why did you do that? But I know I would maybe do it again. I don't know. Learn from my mistakes, please.
But yeah, filling gaps, I reckon, is absolutely worth it.
Yeah, and if you're motivated enough, try to get a bit ahead. But
Yeah.
at
Don't
least,
have to go too far. but
yeah,
just-
at least reconciling everything from the previous term, particularly if you have begun to go into some external content.
Yeah, because that's the stuff that, if you understand it, I don't know, I always used to play the game that I'll revise this at the end of the year. But it's never a good game when you have to try and revise everything at the end of the year.
when you say
and
that about
didn't
SOD.
understand, you didn't understand it in the first place, and you said it about every standard. It's not good.
It's real
It's
hard.
not good.
It's real hard to revise when you haven't even revised yet, you know what I mean?
So don't
I'm
do
so
that.
sorry I've coughed so much this episode.
Because that's what I did in level 3, and too much talking today. I guess that's what happened when I did level 3. It wasn't good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it pays to understand the content at the time, and holidays are a great way to make sure you.
Why is
understand
this
the content at the
episode
time.
turned into our shameful high school behaviours?
I don't know. How many shameful high school behaviours have we talked about?
Or just me?
Just-
Just both of us doing these things. But I think it's good as well as I wouldn't want our audience to think that we were perfect at
no.
that kind of stuff. I think it's good that everyone knows that
We're not-
we went through the exact same thing and we didn't have the help that some
Yeah.
students have available to them today.
We are not flawless individuals.
Oh, by no means. I don't even think we need to put that out here. I think our audience knows that very well. Oh, when you sent me that snippet the other day of the Wholesome Half Hour on IG, you sent me a little bit of it. I can't remember exactly why. And I realised just how much we say like.
Oh, yeah. Oh, is this the... Yeah. I've done a word count analysis on this. It's the most frequently used word on the Wholesome Half Hour by like a factor of 2.
That's disgusting.
Did
heard
I
it.
say this to you?
No, you didn't.
Oh, I'll dig it out.
I heard it and I thought to myself, we've had people in the past say we say like a lot, and I didn't realise just how much we did until you properly hear it back. Because believe it or not, I don't like to listen back to the podcast and hear my voice.
No, so I earlier this year I did a word frequent. Maybe I never sent it to you.
I don't think you did.
Okay, I'll find it and send it to you. I got the YouTube automatic captions, which aren't perfectly accurate, but for picking out individual words, it's good enough.
Oh, yeah.
And I did a frequency analysis on this, and like is the most common one. And then of the 10 most common 2-word phrases, like is also very prevalent. I think is also one of the most common ones in 2-word phrases. But yeah, we say like a lot, not just on the show, just
In general.
In general.
And I didn't realise how awful it
it's very
sounded
frequent.
until I heard it back and I
It's
thought,
very frequent.
how do we have any viewers?
Yikes.
So I'm actively...
You know what else you can do in the school holidays? You can watch our entire archive of about...
How many episodes have we done now?
So last year we did about 20-ish episodes of the recorded format because before that we did the Facebook Live stuff. So there's probably about 40 to 50 episodes now.
Oh my goodness.
So you can listen to our entire archive this year and last year. You can see
I've
Mackenzie's
done
hair change throughout time.
Yeah, we love the evolution of my hair through episodes. It will never look right, and I've kind of accepted that now, and I hope the audience does too, but it's okay.
My hair actually has changed a lot as well. I didn't realise this until I skimmed through some old episodes.
Really?
Yeah, I used to have it used to be a lot
Longer on the
longer
top.
on the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking of bringing it back.
Bring it back.
Yeah.
Bring it back.
Very edgy.
Maybe one day I'll return to my natural hair colour. Oh, it's kind of, not really.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I love how at the end of every show we seem to
just-
diverge
just
into some
this-
completely,
yeah, we just
absolutely off-topic area.
Yeah, why did you make the Wholesome Half Hour snippet of dental hygiene? I saw that yesterday and I thought to myself, why?
Did it perform well?
I don't know.
I thought it was like
I could go soon.
Oh, yeah, I know you were gonna go. I just thought people would find it a bit controversial, so I thought it would perform well on social, and being the clickbaiting
goodness.
machine I am. I thought I'd do it. Yeah, performed above average. It was good.
That's so bizarre.
That was totally that was a good performance. Yeah, no, that was worth it.
because
This performed better than does climate change better.
Oh,
it's
treacherous.
big yikes.
I feel like I just didn't seem like the most important chat in the world.
I
but
didn't think it was important. I just thought it was controversial. I wanted to draw people in.
a fair shout. Okay.
So yeah. Anyway, thanks so much for watching,
Yeah,
guys.
thank you, guys.
Have an awesome school holidays.
Yeah.
Enjoy
and-
yourself. Live your best life.
Yeah, and if you get up to
Get some
anything,
rest.
if anything from this episode has given you a bit of inspiration or something like that, we'd love to see, photos or send something through.
Yeah.
Tag us in some
Tag
stuff,
us in
man. It'd be
your-
really cool.
Tag us or DM us on Instagram or something. And
Yeah.
hopefully we'll find out. Thanks
Yeah,
so much
for
for
sure.
watching, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good holidays. We'll be
Yeah.
back. Oh, we're taking 2 weeks off, but we'll be back next term. And
Yeah, have a safe holidays and get up to fun things and
enjoy yourself.
yeah, for sure.
See you in a couple of weeks. Bye.